we begin with this? I bet your little Asian fish head wife doesn't have these cannons, she says. Now, there's a story behind this, but do you need to know it for it to be funny? Frankly, this is a sort of hyper-reality where I just hope it's true. I kind of want it to be true, but I don't think it is. I won't believe in Indians, says Srirachos. Yeah, fair enough. So, bombshell sex harassment suit against Lorna Hajdini, which is not, it doesn't exactly match the stereotype of white woman domination fantasy. JP Morgan branded complete fabrication as John Doe unmasked. And I saw someone say, "Oh God, quick, remask him." And he has a very strange face. He's got some of the most I don't know what you'd call that. Sunken eyes, is that the right word? But like they're sunken and then they jut back out again. Eyes I've ever seen. And that toothy smile doesn't look great. Rachos' rapist eyes. I cannot confirm or deny that they're rapist eyes, but it doesn't look great. And then the woman is here. Less rapey looking, but you never know. It could be true. So let's go through some of the details. This guy says, bro got the whole world to read his white supremacy, race play, femdom fan fiction. True, to be honest. He's either Indian Count Chocula or Indian Michael Knowles. The woman is, however, Albanian. I don't know who either of those people are. However, if she's Albanian, then it's at least more more stereotypically white than Indian. It looks like a Jew shapeshifting into an Indian. Maybe. A former JP Morgan staffer whom sources identified as Chirayu Rana has been accused of making fabricated sexual harassment claims against a high-ranking executive at the bank after an internal investigation found no evidence of wrongdoing, the Post has learned. Now, internal investigation, maybe they just sided with the person that they wanted to keep at the company more. I don't know. But given that he is an Indian and given the ridiculousness of some of the things that were allegedly said, I wouldn't be surprised. However, there is the other angle to this, which is the sort of pro-male angle of don't just believe that the woman is an innocent little flower. In this case, which collectivist judgment is stronger, anti-Indian or anti-female? We'll have to figure it out as we go through. Multiple sources told the Post that 35-year-old Rana, now a principal at investment firm Bregel Sagemount, is the man who brought the bombshell lawsuit against Lorna Hajdini earlier this week. Yes, Indian men are weaker than women. That's a good point. She could dominate him without trying. Rana's suit filed on Monday after under the pseudonym John Doe accused the 37-year-old. How original. John Doe, so overused. Accused the 37-year-old executive director of turning him into her sex slave by drugging him with Rohypnol and Viagra and threatening to slash his bonus if he did not comply. Yeah, I don't know. It does sound like it could just be a sexual fantasy. The Daily Mail broke the story on Wednesday evening, and like this could be classic Indian scam behavior. However, would he have much of an expectation that would actually work, given all the sort of gender disparity stuff? Citing lurid details from a now retracted court document that has been withdrawn for corrections. The British tabloid, quoting the now deleted court papers, reported that Hajdini, executive director on JP Morgan's leveraged finance team, even turned up unannounced at Rana's apartment and forced him to have sex. Now, here's another thing. What proportion of Indian males would be upset with that arrangement? Hit back in the statement.
It's the other things he claims, you know?
He does claim some rather funny things, yes. Hajdini hit back in a statement issued to the Post via her lawyers. Lorna categorically denies the allegations. She never engaged in any inappropriate conduct with this individual of any kind and has never even been to the location where the alleged sexual assault supposedly took place. Rana, who did not reply to the Post's multiple requests for comment, claimed that the alleged coercion began shortly after he joined JP Morgan's leveraged finance team in the spring of 2024. She jumped in straight away. She saw her target, and then she went. Or in he went. He filed an internal complaint in May 2025 alleging race and gender-based harassment and abuse of power before trying to negotiate a payoff that ran into millions to leave the company, sources said. Okay, that's interesting. So this is not some new thing he's decided to do, if it is fake. It's got precedent. It's been going on for a while. But he's already been paid to shut up about it and go away. So he's even if it's true, He's double dipping, which I'm sure she would have appreciated. The suit also named JP Morgan Chase as a defendant, accusing the bank of retaliation and failing to investigate properly. Daniel J. Kaiser, the attorney listed in the New York County Supreme Court docket as representing John Doe, did not return the Post's calls seeking comment. JP Morgan strongly denied all of the claims. The bank spokesperson, who refused to be drawn out on the identity of Doe, said a thorough internal probe by the bank's HR department and in-house lawyers, which included a review of team phone records and emails, found no evidence to support them. Following an investigation, we don't believe there's any merit to these claims. While numerous employees cooperated with the investigation, the complainant refused to participate and has declined to provide facts that would be central to support his allegations. Now that's an interesting aspect. I wonder if he has any explanation for that, or if the bank is just lying, because anyone in this case could be lying. It's a spoiler alert, we're probably not going to find out the truth by the end of this article. But we may get something. The Post has also learned that Rana did not report to Hashdini. The two were simply colleagues on the leveraged finance team, which works on large corporate acquisitions, mergers, and buyouts. Still, he may have thought she had enough influence, especially if he was new, that she could essentially influence what happened to him. Yeah, there's a picture of her. Looking a bit different than she did in the other picture. I don't know, different weight, perhaps. People familiar with the matter said Hashdini reported to managing director Brandon Graffio. Why do they all have such odd second names? While Rana was supervised by another managing director, John Walter. It means that she would have no sway over the size of his annual bonus. She may have sway over the size of something else of his, though. One colleague described Rana, a former basketball player and Rutgers graduate, as socially awkward, but someone who met the requirements to remain at the bank. So, yeah, the autism. Because that's what socially awkward generally means, is autism. I don't know whether that makes... Which side of the argument that makes more probable, to be honest? Friends of Hashdini, who are still working at JP Morgan, said she is viewed internally as a top performer. Yeah, I'm sure that's what he wanted her to be, a top performer. He has tarnished her with a complete fabrication, said one ally who was not authorized to speak to the media. Hashdini's own LinkedIn profile shows that the NYU Stern School of Business graduate and wine enthusiast, oh no, the allegations are true, spends her spare time outside of work volunteering for Minds Matter, a non-profit that helps underprivileged youngsters achieve. Oh my God, she has an autism fetish. It's all coming together, chat. That's what it is. She has a fetish for idiots. And that's why she did this to him. Oh God. Hashdini and Rana were colleagues at JP Morgan between 2024 and 2025, reported to two different managing directors. Property records link Rana to an apartment in Manhattan's Kips Bay neighborhood and a $1.7 million family home in Fairfax County. VA. You know where VA is, Aiden?
Virginia, yeah.
Which one, though?
If it's VA, it's just Virginia. If it's WV, it's West Virginia. The more you know.
And which one's better?
Oh, absolutely. West by God, Virginia.
I don't know about that. Rana's journeyman career in finance has included...
Semper Liberi.
Yes, has included stints at Houlihan Lokey, Credit Suisse, TCG Capital Markets, Morgan Stanley, and the Carlyle Group before he joined at JP Morgan. I wonder if there's been any other complaints from any of the places that she's worked, that she's done this. The thing is, maybe there hasn't been complaints. That doesn't mean she hasn't done it there. He's now a principal at the Briegel Sagemount, a New York-based firm, led by Goldman Sachs, LMG Yoon. Every single person in this article has a funny second name, which is weird because it's about finance. I wonder why that could be, etc., etc. No trial date has been set. The lawsuit remains reportable because court filings in the US enjoy absolute privilege against defamation claims, shielding media outlets from liability as long as they fairly and accurately describe the allegations. It means they cannot be sued even if the claims in the complaint letter are proven to be false or malicious. I mean, there's some sense to that. This woman says, I took a good look at her accuser. As a female, I find it nearly impossible to believe that any woman would attempt to drug, coerce, or pressure that man to do anything involving physical contact with her. Then I read some of the statements the accuser says his female co-worker made regarding his wife and her son, because he's married as well, by the way. She says, I've never met a female in my life who speaks in those particular vulgarities, but I have indeed heard particularly gross men who speak that way, she says. I can't believe this guy thinks he can get away with all of this. For the pictures presented here, who appears to be numerous levels below the young lady, I trust they will be in an effort to dismiss with defendants' legal expenses paid by the instigator of this lawsuit. The people in chat here are absolutely believing her, and perhaps they're right to. But you know who seems to be a bit more open to his claims? That's right. It's the Hindustan Times, who describe exactly what she apparently said.
If you don't fuck my brains out, 5 shocking details in sex harassment case against JP Morgan executive.
What's wrong with that? That's fine. Hazmat women that speak like that, they exist. They are not the majority, and for them to aggressively come onto someone in the workplace is again rare but possible. A lawsuit against JP Morgan Chase executive Lorna Hashdini has drawn significant attention. We'll skip the backstory. According to the lawsuit, the alleged conduct included repeated sexual advances, explicit threats, and racially offensive remarks. The complaint further claims that Hashdini used her senior position within the organization to intimidate the employee, exert control. Stop fucking crying, she said at some point. According to the complaint, the alleged harassment did not occur as an isolated incident, but began soon after the complainant joined. The lawsuit states that Hashdini and the employee began working together almost immediately, following which she allegedly initiated repeated and unwelcome advances. Most women speak like that when they tell their sex-capade stories to their female friends. Fair enough. I say that to Indians all the time. The complainant alleges that she made derogatory remarks about his wife and forcibly initiated sexual acts despite his resistance. Oh, the poor man. Stop fucking crying, you think anyone would believe you, she said, apparently. You're a fucking douchebag who thinks he's hot shit but can't even get your dick hard for me, she said. What the fuck is this? She allegedly said. Threats to career and use of seniority. She apparently said a lot of fun things. Let's get the actual quote from this as well. Fish head cannons. There we go. All right, we want the actual. Okay, so the quote was, "I bet your little Asian fish head wife doesn't have these cannons." Women in chat, have you ever referred to yours as cannons? Or would this be the first time? Viagra, roofies, and balls
First
not
time for me.
tasting like curry are some other astonishing highlights of the lawsuit that accuses Hashdini of rape, stalking, and abuse. You're going to need to earn it, little Arab boy toy, she said, while also engaging in unwanted physical contact at a work-related social event. She allegedly lashed out at Doe. She allegedly lashed at him for not generating enough business to support her bid for a promotion to managing director, threatened repercussions if he refused her advances, according to the complaint. Do you think you're going to be in good standing if you do not have me in your corner, she said. You really think they want a brown Indian boy leading originations? And then she said the following thing.
Don't have asterisk my brains out tonight. I'm going to sabotage your promotion.
Thank you. I don't have a name for her yet. I fucking own you, she said. She told brown boy Indian. Little Arab boy, little brown boy. I mean, this is it sounds more like what he would write than what she would write. The complaint further alleges that Hashdini, then again, right, she isn't actually Western white. She is, Albanian, Algerian, one of those. So maybe different standards apply. Sounds like hoax hate. Probably, yeah. I don't know why you're fighting this, she says. When Doe declined an invitation to go out for drinks, Hashdini responded with the following. Boy, I'm glad I made this
if you don't
text
offend me
speech.
soon, I'm going to ruin you never forget. I fucking own you.
It's really not very good. It's just a simple local one. It's not even AI. Doe further claims she propositioned him for oral sex in the workplace. Birthday BJ for the brown boy, she said. Resale value might be more than a penny. I don't know. It depends how much you can scam. What if you used him to scam other Indians? Like that time they did it on the strait. What was it called? The strait around Iran, where some Indians scammed some other Indians, telling them that they could cross through the Hormuz Strait. And it turns out they couldn't. It was a scam, but they paid for it anyway. Here's the question. Why would you expect, of all things, why would you expect that the Iranian authorities would have an Indian accent? I think you have to be retarded, which I suppose is what the Indians in that case were. This is Albanian country, and she opened Bob and showed Vagine. It's true. As the case gained traction online, prompted widespread discussion, she deactivated and deleted her LinkedIn profile, removing a key source of publicly available information about her professional background. Well, that settles it. She must be the brown luster, which is definitely not what Nachos is. It's interesting that they said that he refused to provide evidence that would assist with the case. I think that there was some decent memes about this as well. What was this? Well, now we've seen this. Don't be brown in her presence, chat.
Here at JP Morgan, we like to take care of you financially as long as you're a good little boy and can handle my cannons.
Okay, clicking the media tab was a good idea.
disaster! Sir, please calm down! You're all fired! Boom! The cannons! No! This room is history! The Q1 earnings are a disaster!
That was... Thanks. Thanks, AI. That really justifies your existence. Okay, what else we got? Oh yeah, that woman. All right, that's pretty good. Once again, I can tell this was made, I think this was made with GPT Image 2, because I can just see, even sort of from maybe this zoom would be best, I can see the noise, which only GPT Image 2 seems to do. 2 red circles around the cannons, yeah. Specifically these ones, yeah. All right, well, thank you for showing off your cannons. Let's see what else is there. Is that real? Was this based on a real image? I don't think so. Yep, then there she is. I guess he was right. That sure is one fish-headed wife. Well, now we found out everything we need to know, I think, about this. What's the truth of the story? We'll have no fucking idea. We're gonna have to wait and find out.